What's up, y'all? I'm 2 minutes late, my bad. Smoking on the blunt, lost track of time. You know how it is when you look at your phone and it's one time and then you look up, it's 10 minutes later. I looked at my phone, it was like, okay, it's 1:50. I got 10 more minutes. I was sitting on my porch, getting high. And then I said, oh shit, it's 2:02. And I ran in here and got started. My bad. Anyway, what's up, Reggie? What's up, Chris Vesey, Tad Lawson? He called Shannon Sharpe John Coffee. Oh my God. Dre 77, don't be disappointed, brother. I hear where you're coming from, but understand, these people that are in these positions like Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe, they're there specifically because they're there for the express reason of being buck dancers, okay? That's why they have a job. And they allow these black men to speak freely when criticizing black men. They'll allow them to get an occasional jab in on Donald Trump. But outside of that, their speech is very controlled. But like I've been telling y'all, this is an 8 of Hearts year, the year of revelation. Everything is coming out. And it's not just this year, it's these chain of years. Last year was 7 of Hearts. That's also a revelation card. 7 of Hearts, 8 of Hearts, 9 of Hearts. And next year's a 9 of Hearts year. They're all exposure cards because they're all about it opening up the heart. And to open up the heart requires the truth. And so in a time that, in a season in earth that we're in right now of the heart opening up and people opening up, exposure of real agendas is part of that, okay? So it's not some mystical thing. You know, you'll hear astrologers, numerologists, everybody kind of saying the same thing because we're all reading from the same book, just in different languages. The language I choose is cards. Other people choose the language of numerology. Some people choose a language of this and that, and that's fine too. But not to go too deep off into that because this is some real shit. People like Stephen A. Smith, Stephen A. has been getting checked left and right. We just did a show last week about Kenny Smith checking Stephen A. Smith for his treatment of Kyrie Irving. You know what I mean? Bruh man has been getting chickadee checked a whole lot. And then Shannon Sharpe coming in with his thick ass tongue. Only thing I ever hear Shannon Sharpe say is the white person is right, the black person is wrong. They white, they right. They black, they wrong. That's all I hear when he talk. And then he'll give the occasional good interview on this show. He gives good interviews on the show. But when it comes to these shows like this, all you gonna give him Shannon Sharpe is that black person needs to do better. That black man needs to shut up and play. That white person did something right. The owners do everything right. LeBron James. LeBron is the only black person I can talk positive about. That's all I hear with Shannon Sharpe. And so, you know, this exposure in a lot of ways in sports is happening through our women. See, let's talk about this from a higher plane than just the day-to-day. We all see the day-to-day mundane. We all see that. But let's talk about it a little bit from a deeper angle. You dig what I'm saying? This woman called him out. So before I even get to talking more, let's watch this 2-minute exchange between the two. ESPN has since taken the video down because I think their favorite Dubois got embarrassed. And then, so, you know, they took it down. So I think we could play this. We could play this without worry or strike. So let's play this video. I'm playing all the way through. I'm going to try to be patient to play it all the way through. I'm going to try not to stop. I'm going to try to be patient to play it all the way through. Then once we play it all the way through, I'm going to go back and then we're going to review it bit by bit, all right? Let's do it that way. I'm trying to do this shit all the way through. But the minute I hear Shannon Sharpe go, I'm going to get pissed off, so I might stop it. But I'm going to try not to stop it. Let's go through this 2 minutes and 19 seconds together, okay? This is the video of why we're having today's topic, all right? Let's go.
Talking about them. We're talking about them maximizing their great potential. And because we bring that up and talk about what potentially might get in their way, which we do to men all the time, now we got to sit up here and watch every syllable. I resent that, and I'll leave it at that.
All right, so let me, I know we got to go to break. Welcome to the world of being a woman, Stephen A., and how you have to dance about your word choice and you have to please everybody and anybody as you navigate your being. We are talking about the world's greatest
How about being a black man?
Oh, shit.
I
don't like gender fights in front of white people.
So this is what I'm saying to y'all, though, and I know we got to go to break. And we didn't necessarily go there, maybe we should. There are so many layers in this conversation around the way that it's being discussed.
She's right.
No. And yes, Shannon, I know y'all are going to say you know, and Stephen A., I know you just shared that you have talked about the WNBA on your program, too. You guys may not have said everybody, but the prevailing sentiment for folks that are just joining the WNBA and following women's sports is unfair to the women of this league, to your point, who have laid the groundwork for Caitlin Clark to come in and now take it to the next level. That's all I'm saying in these conversations. Kennedy Carter's behavior is not indicative of the entire league. We are still talking about competition where you are allowed to get a little extra elbow in if you are competing and you do it within the parameters of the game. The game is physical. Caitlin is helping to grow the league. These women understand that, but she cannot be babied as a rookie. That's all I'm at.
All right.
Who talks about the WNBA? Who talks about women? Who talk about women's sports more than First Take?
Stephen A., respectfully, with your platform, you could have been doing this 3 years ago if you wanted to.
Ooh.
All right, we got to go. You guys.
So did you say
know you're my guy, but
who does more than
Stephen
us?
A., I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you.
Wow.
Don't do that. I'm talking to you about the power that you have.
Okay.
I'm talking to you.
That's my black woman shit coming out right there. That's right.
You're my guy, but I'm talking to you.
Black women got a way of getting right to the point.
I really appreciate
you're my girl, but you've missed a lot of episodes of First Take. You missed a lot.
Stephen A., 3 years ago, you would not talk about the W at this level. Don't do that.
Guys.
Nobody was, Monica.
Guys.
You making Stephen Monica, you making Stephen A.
Let me do my job. Please let me do my job. For 40 minutes straight. It was a riveting discussion. I have to get into commercial break.
All right. So that's the whole thing. Now, we about to break this apart piece by piece. Let's break this down piece by piece. We're going to go back and play it piece by piece. But Ted Lawson, thanks for the super chat, says all she has to do is tell Shannon to put his glasses back on and punk him like Skip Bayless did. You damn right. Put your glasses back on. And Shannon was like, okay, Skip. Okay, Skip. Okay, Skip. Oh, y'all some fucking assholes in the chat room. I swear to God. Let's get some groove. Let's get some music to play. Then we're going to really get into it. Let's get some. Here we go. We here with it today. This is today's groove. This is today's show's groove. There we go. So, y'all some assholes, all right? I'm gonna start off by saying that. What's up, Arthur? What's up, Andrew Coleman? What's up, everybody in the chat room? Motherfucker says Shannon Clark Duncan. I want to hear Shannon Sharpe sing Old Man River. See, I got an old school rule. And this is no offense to everybody out there, because nothing's 100%. So you might be that exception. You might be that exception. So if this is you, I don't know you, so I don't mean this to be personally offensive to you because I don't know you. But generally speaking, I don't want to hear shit anybody with a lisp has to say. Like, my personal opinion on a lisp is that's God's way of telling the world, this motherfucker ain't talking about shit. If you got a lisp, you can go be a painter. I'm gonna fuck with you. You could be a football player. You could be a writer. You might be a damn good writer. But if you got a lisp, you ain't talking about shit I need to hear. Imagine Martin Luther King. I have a dream that someday all black women and children will come together. Imagine Malcolm X. We didn't land on Plymouth Rocks. Plymouth Rocks landed on us. Imagine Malcolm X saying Plymouth Rock landed on us. Then nobody would have heard that nigga. Nigga would have thrown a rock at him. What the fuck you mean Plymouth Rock landed on us? No, nigga, on us. If you got a list, that's God's way of saying shut up and just listen and write your thoughts out. Type them. See, the internet is for you lisp niggas. That's what Twitter's for. Type your shit out, you lisp having motherfuckers. You got Twitter, you got Instagram, you got Facebook. It's all kind of lisp-proof goddamn places, means of communication. You got blogs, nigga. Leave the talking to people who can move their tongue around and not clash with their teeth. If your tongue clashes with your teeth, there's too much going on for you to be talking to motherfuckers. All right. So now, nigga said, all right. What they're saying, we shall overcome. Man, we still be in Jim Crow. If niggas are singing we shall overcome. Nigga, Jim Crow 2024. Nigga. Motherfuckers are sitting, man, you ain't talking about shit if you got a list. Alright? Just, yeah. Alright, back to what we talking about. So let's go back and break this down piece by piece. Let's break this exchange down piece by piece. Lisp having ass niggas. Piece by piece. I remember being in church. Remember that one reverend in church it'd be that one dude where you be in Bible. See, you niggas ain't holy like I was. I was a holy saintly kid and shit. You niggas is heathens. But for all you non-heathens out there, y'all remember being in Bible study? Like, this ain't big church. It's like Bible study with just a few people. And it was always somebody that wanted to read, and they had a lisp. But like, all right, Brother Haygood. Brother Haygood, what's your scripture, Brother Haygood? My scripture is in 3 Thessalonians, where God said, Moses parted the water. And in the Red Sea, you'd be like, come on, Brother Haygood. Shit. Cartoons are still, man, the cartoons are going to be off when I get home, man. Come on, brother Haygood. Thessalonians 78, scripture says, and Moses in the Red Sea went to the people of Babylonia and the Philistines. And the Philistines, shit, we're going to be here all goddamn day. But let's go into this. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm still that kid in school that be getting distracted. And man, I couldn't listen to my teacher for too long without saying some silly shit. Caledonia, lisp is due for two things. Sometimes people mouth ain't set right. And in the case of people like some of these niggas we see on TV, these niggas lisp is because they be getting dicks smashed down their mouth. That's why. All right, my bad. That's probably too much. But in Shannon's case, I don't know. I'm just talking shit. I'm just cracking jokes. I don't mean none of what I say. It's just me having fun. It's Black American culture. Black Americans, we talk shit in everything we do, and I am from my culture, okay? And that's just what we do. It's not personal. It's just a Black American thing. It's not personal. Please allow me my cultural space to have a good time at no personal offense to anybody.
We're talking about them maximizing their great potential. And because we bring that up and talk about what potentially might get in their way, which we do to men all the time, now we got to sit up here and watch every syllable. I resent that, and I'll leave it at that.
So
you know what he left out? See, they're trying to make this into a gender argument. Stephen A. Smith started it by saying, which I do to men all the time. No, it's what you do to Black men all the time. Nikola Jokic has a history of being a downright degenerate. He got kicked out of 2 different playoff games for not being able to hold his temper. But you, Stephen A. Smith, have never one time taken a serious moment. I say a serious moment to address the issue. Luka Doncic ran Kristaps Porzingis out of Dallas over Eastern European racial differences, tribal differences. You, Stephen A. Smith, never talked about that. Porzingis, if Dallas still had Kristaps Porzingis, that would, one, help Boston not have him. I think Boston's going to need Porzingis to beat Dallas. But they'd probably be a shoo-in to win the finals this year. But they couldn't work it out because of Eastern European tribal differences between the 2 white boys, and Stephen A. Smith never addressed it. You have players who are white who never get addressed on this kind of stuff, Stephen A. It's only the Black players whose attitudes are talked about. Let's play that part again.
Let me, I know we got to go to.
Y'all know, a lot of y'all know me from Black history and Black music, and welcome to everybody. It's Black Music Month. Celebrate Black Music Month. We're going to get into Black Music Month a little bit later on. But shit, sports has been my thing for probably just as long as basketball.
Break. I know we got to break. Welcome to the world of being a woman, Stephen A.
And
here we go.
We're talking
there they go.
Maximizing their great potential. And
that's nothing. They always hide behind people's money. Maximizing. Remember when Stephen A. Smith was going at Kyrie Irving? They're like, he's going to lose so much money. He's going to lose so much money. What about the money? What about the money? You ain't said a goddamn thing about his money since he stopped doing what you didn't want him to do.
Because we bring that up and talk about what potentially might get in their way, which we do to men all the time, now we got to sit up here and watch every syllable. I resent that, and I'll leave it at that.
All right, so let me. I know we got to go to break. Welcome to the world of being a woman, Stephen A. And how?
No. That's not a world of being a woman. That's the world of being a black woman. Okay? Because you black women, you will hold your tongues too around non-black women. Not all, but it's a problem. The same issues black women face when they're around men, black women also face when they're around white women and non-black women when they are the minority in the room. Just like we as black men. We as black men, oftentimes a lot of black men use their social capital and social leverage over black women to do things that I'm not acknowledging and saying that black men don't. I've seen black men do it. You see it a lot, especially within the church. But them same black men that pull that bullshit. When a white man walk in the room, he's, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And here are two niggas out there, an example. Stephen A. and Shannon Sharpe. Look at how buck Shannon Sharpe is getting against this woman. But when Shannon Sharpe had Skip Bayless sitting across the table for him and said, put your glasses back on. What did he do? Put his monkey ass glasses back on. So we both here are dealing with the same common enemy. That's why my point of view, and I could be wrong, but my point of view is we're not going to go anywhere playing the who got the worst battle between black men and black women. We both got to suck up, understand that we both hurt each other, and start treating ourselves with a level of respect and dignity with each other. And let's make certain rules to not attack each other on camera the same way or whatever. Put it like this. Let's make whatever the rule is. However far you're willing to go with a white man, go there with your black man and your black sister. How about that? Let's just make it simple. That leash that you seem to have on yourself when a white person is sitting across from you, how about you have that same leash when your brother man and your sister girl is sitting across from you? How about that? Or if you're going to go with everybody. I don't even mind people like that. If you're going to go at her like that, cool. Then go at whatever one white woman announcer with the same heat. Go after whatever white male announcer with the same heat. I'm cool with that too. Because there's certain people like Charles Barkley. I used to like Charles Barkley. He come and talk all that shit. But then the minute a white person is across that table, they all of a sudden know how to measure their words. And that's my problem. I'm not about to tell people what to do and to do, what not to do. I just call fairness. Treat if it's a black woman, and this goes to a lot of you manosphere. Let me get on camera for this part right here. I'm gonna get like my man Brandon Tony. Salute to Brandon Tony. He just opened up a bar this past weekend, and I was there. Brandon Tony from the old podcast I used to do. Brandon Tony. Salute to Brandon Tony. Just opened up a brand new bar, black-owned bar out in the valley. Salute to Brandon. But I'm gonna do like what Brandon used to do. Put the camera on me. Put the camera on me, nigga. Black men. And I'm gonna go specifically at you niggas that like calling women bitches every third word. And like talking all kind of shit to black women. All these fresh and fit motherfuckers. And all these hyper towards black women. How about you talk to black women with the same heat you talk to white men? We can clean up 90% of the confusion in our community if we learned how to treat each other with the same heat we treat them. Because niggas know when to shut up, don't they? Niggas know when to put their glasses back on, don't they? So if you know when to shut up and get in line and put your glasses back on, when a white man or a white woman is sitting across the table from you, then you can do so with the black woman too. And I know she's hurt you. I know your mama gave your Capri Suns to every newest nigga she was fucking, and it still bothers you. I get it. But understand social dynamics. Understand how America works on race and how and why we got into this position that we in. How the black family went from staying together 95% of the time just before 1960 to having some of the highest divorce rates 20 years later by the 1980s and 90s. Understand the so how about have some compassion for your mother, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your niece, your nephew, your mama, your dad, your child, because of the catch-22 that they was put in. Because you tend to have that kind of leash on yourself. If Mr. Hoffberger is sitting across the table from you. If Mr. McDouglas is sitting across the table from you. You tend to know how to get real cool. That's why I don't buy none of you niggas bullshit. And all that calling woman, man, a bitch this and a bitch that and a bitch that. You wouldn't talk to a white person that way. I, on the other hand, speak the way I speak in front of everybody. In 10 days, I'll be doing the speech at Sony Music on Black American music, centered on Black American business. A couple of days after that, I'll be back at Top Golf on Juneteenth, talking Black American business in a room full of corporate white people. I have anti-Black racism trainings. I do white corporate America. And you know what? They respect me because they know America ain't right. And most white people ain't even down for America not being right. They're just as confused as we are. Let's not get it twisted. A lot of them are. So when a motherfucker tell the truth, people respect it. But when you go around Stephen A. Smith in your life and Shannon Sharpe in your life, everybody look at you like a hoe. So no, I do not respect men that go around and you can call a black woman bitch, 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 bitch. But when you talk to a white person, it's Mr. This. Or is, I'm sorry, sir. Let me calm down. You saw the way on the Adam 22 show, them niggas will talk to each other, but they calm the fuck down, they talk to Adam 22. Niggas go on Vlad TV, people like D.L. Hughley, and talk, man, black people this, black people that, talk all the shit, but treat Vlad with respect, the same level of respect you won't treat a black person. Tired of all you niggas. So, Shannon Sharpe and Stephen A. Smith, they're examples of that. Because you niggas getting aware of racial progress too. It's a lot of non-white people out there too, not a lot of non-black people out there too, who would rather know something truthful. But they don't get it because they put niggas like y'all on camera. So we keep this confusion going on. I personally know and been around white folks who will put money behind finding the truth. But niggas like y'all getting away. Tap dancing, buck dancing punks.
You have to dance about your word choice, and you have to please everybody and anybody as you navigate your being. We are talking about the world's greatest
How about being a black man?
Being black.
Hold on 1 second.
Have you?
So
now look at Shannon. Now look, you notice how everybody's black when it's bad? You got 3 black people, a black adjacent that just divorced a black nigga, and they all talking about black, bliggity black shit. But ain't none of these people going. What if any of these people on camera, and I'm talking about them all, what if any of these black people said about reparations? How long has reparations been on the front of our minds on social media? Since what, 2016? We coming up on 8 years, this is the 3rd presidential election cycle that black people have been extremely vocal about reparations. Where is black been in any of these motherfuckers' mouth when it comes to that? And that's one thing I like about these sports niggas. It's always black when we've been done wrong. It's always black when somebody want to compare what's going wrong. It's always black when somebody needs something. Somebody needs some attention, needs some empathy, needs something else from who is black. But when it comes time to be proactive in black, it's now, the Olympics on. We gonna watch the Olympics? Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. They use black when it's convenient on these TV channels. And this is what people got to understand. Bill Burr has said something really important when he was on that interview with Charlamagne the God on the Breakfast Club. When Bill Burr talked about being white and coming into black comedy clubs, how just as recently as 2008, he thought all black people were the same. And I was glad to hear that man's honesty. Because that's how most of them think. It's just that Bill Burr was honest enough to say it. But once he spent time around black people, he got to see, hey, look, this black person is like my friend Bert. That black person, once people get beyond the veil, once they get beyond the propaganda that separates both of us from each other, people get to start seeing the humanity within people. But most people don't get to see behind that veil. Their only representation of us is on shows like this. And the only time they hear these niggas bring up black is when they crying about something.
This is what I'm saying to y'all, though, and I know we got to go to break. And we didn't
look at Stephen A. Smith's eyes. Don't that nigga look like Bert? Well, no, Elmo. Why does nigga Stephen A. Smith looking like a receding hairline Tickle Me Elmo? Why does he look like he has the Bert? That nigga like was that Ernie with the hair on top? Bert and Ernie. Ernie's the one with the hair on top. Them big ass eyes. That nigga's eyes looking like the little Elvis dog at what you call that? Looking like the Elvis over there at Chuck E. Cheese, don't it? Oh, Elvis Chuck E. Cheese eyes having ass nigga.
Necessarily go there, maybe we should. There are so many layers in this conversation around the way that it's being discussed.
She's right.
No. And yes, Shannon, I know y'all are going to say.
She's right. This is a multi-layered conversation. ESPN, Shannon Sharpe, Stephen A., they're trying to make it seem as if she's just some white savior. No, the fuck, Caitlin Clark ain't no goddamn white savior. It's a symbiote. It's a synergy between her and Angel Reese. Is the reason why we care. The race play America gets to promote this off of. That's why we care. It ain't just because Jim Carrey Clark.
And Stephen A., I know you just shared that you have talked about the WNBA on your program too. You guys may not have said everybody, but the prevailing sentiment for folks that are just joining the WNBA and following women's sports is unfair to the women of this league, to your point, who have laid the groundwork for Caitlin Clark to come in and now take it to the next level. That's all I'm saying in these conversations. Kennedy Carter's behavior is not indicative of the entire league. We are still talking about competition where you are allowed to get a little extra elbow in if you are competing and you do it within the parameters of the game. The game is physical. Caitlin is helping to grow the league. These women understand that, but she cannot be babied as a rookie. That's all I'm saying.
I like that point that sister just made. It's fine. Let Caitlin Clark be the darling of the league. Let them market her the way they want to market her. But it's not the player's responsibility to soften up on her. They're trying to do with Caitlin Clark, and it's going to hurt a lot of you niggas' feelings, what the NBA did with Michael Jordan. The NBA was rough and tumble before Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was getting his ass kicked by the Pistons every year as long as it was rough and tumble. So David Stearns had to say, hands off my boy. And then Jordan rose to the top. The NBA of the 90s was for the most part still rough and tumble. You can foul everybody except for Michael Jordan and Karl Malone. They did not let you, those two players you couldn't touch in the 90s. Michael Jordan and Karl Malone. Everybody else, it was free game. Yeah. So they try to do the same thing with Caitlin Clark. The same thing they did with LeBron. Same thing they do right now with Luka. Remember James Harden? When James Harden was getting to the bucket and getting fouls? Oh, James Harden draws too many fouls. Oh, how does James Harden get 13 free throws a game? Oh, James Harden gets to the foul. He dribbles too much. Oh, James Harden gets too many fouls. Then the minute Luka do it, foul. And ain't none of you niggas complaining about that either. Y'all talking all kind. Just 5 short. Y'all was talking all kind of shit about James Harden in his game. Luka got a sorry ass dumbed down version of that game. The NBA changed the rules in 2020 and stopped calling fouls for James Harden, taking the effectiveness of his game away. But that same foul, you sneeze on Luka. Tom Brady, you're right, in the NFL, Tom Brady. Right. They always got that one they don't want you to touch. Yeah, like Drake. Nigga Drake had the head of Universal saying, hey, stop, no more beef, Kendrick, no more, stop it, time out. You had niggas in that Kendrick and Drake beef going around saying Kendrick went too hard. Oh, Kendrick is talking about his family. Oh, Kendrick is talking about a child he may not have, he may have. Oh, Kendrick talked about good old Drake's mother. Like, who are you soft ass niggas, man? So that's what they're trying to do with Caitlin Clark. And the media is trying to set that up. And they're basically telling the women, you need to be grateful. And I'm never going to tell, and look, let me tell y'all something. I'm never going to side with big business over labor. That's the trick that they use on us all the time. You lucky you getting paid this. You lucky you getting paid that. You lucky for the opportunity. No, the fuck you not. Those sisters, those players work for that opportunity. And the owners get to get paid a whole lot of money off of people who sacrifice their lives and their bodies for the game. That's how I see it. The same way at your job, the owner of your company gets to have 7 yachts, gets to have 3 or 4 houses he doesn't live in, all because he's paying you $70,000 a year when he can afford to pay you $130,000 a year. And this happens across the board. NBA, WNBA, if you work at Costco, if you work at motherfucking Macy's, if you work at Raytheon, If you work at Microsoft, Apple, 2 or 3 people get to keep all the money on top, and the board of trustees, another 20 people on the board, another few hundred in high stock investors. You got a handful of people siphoning off all the money at the top. And those same people will get middle management. And in sports, the TV announcers are middle management. They'll get middle management and pay middle management a few more dollars than they're paying you to tell you you're lucky. Let me get back on camera for this. You may have been doing this by mistake before. You may have been saying that out of ignorance. But if you go around telling an employee of something somewhere that's making an industry that they're lucky and not the motherfucker that's starting the shit, they're the lucky ones. They're lucky enough to get born into a family that had enough wealth to invest into their dreams. What if you was born into a family? What if your luck had you born into a family that gave you enough money and enough educational wherewithal to invest in your dreams? Would you have to have that job? You niggas sound like, oh my God, y'all helped the slave master. I swear to God. You're lucky to have it. No, they're lucky. And here's another misnomer right here. You're only worth what you negotiate. Bullshit. Because the NBA has collective bargaining, meaning they already have it to where a handful of players get paid this and most players get paid that. Most players. And what they did was they locked the players out in 2011 and forced them to take a smaller share of the revenue. And come to find out in that Billy Hunter, rest in peace, was allegedly the person that was on the player side was allegedly in bed with the NBA. So the person that was in charge of their negotiation was secretly working with the side they're negotiating with. And you have players in the NBA now who are coming up that weren't a part of that negotiation. They just coming in getting the check. Again, all this whole the consumer, the employee, the everyday man, the regular person has to be right all the time. No. It's a system that guarantees these kind of results. And as long as we clash amongst each other, we're never going to goddamn solve it. Follow the goddamn money and stop looking at the nigga standing next to you. How about that? Black and white and everybody people. I talk about race because racism is the tool that's used to have us fighting amongst each other. And we as black people, we tend to be the only ones that don't know we in a racist game. So I gotta talk about race with my people because too many of us they be thinking everything is fair. Too many of us be thinking we our own worst enemy. We the only ones. We's our own worst enemy. Why are we? So I gotta talk about the threat that's there. But at the end of the day, we gotta keep pointing to the real threats that's there. Not each other. It ain't a nigga walking down Crenshaw right now that's a threat to me. Fuck out of here. It ain't a nigga walking down 54th Street. It ain't a nigga walking down Vermont. It ain't a white person walking down Sepulveda. It ain't a Mexican walking down goddamn Atlantic Boulevard that's a threat to me. So we got to see the big picture at play here. And that's why I'm talking about this with y'all. Because when we see these things play out on sports and on TV, when we weren't really, let me see, my wife is texting me. When it comes down to it, You know, we got to see the whole play at hand. So let's go a little bit deeper into what they talked about.
All right.
Who talks about the WNBA? Who talks about women? Who talk about women's sports more than First Take?
Stephen A., respectfully, with your platform, you could have been doing this 3 years ago if you wanted to.
Ooh, look at his face. It look like his puppet strings got tangled up, don't it? That nigga Stephen A.'s puppet strings got tangled up at that one. And that's true. That's true. That's true. You could have Stephen A., but we're talking about this because of the racial dynamic, and that's what she means. If it was just about Kate, you didn't already start talking about this like this, Stephen A., until this came up. Look at him. He's still frozen. Look at that.
All right, we got to go. You guys.
So did you
You
say
know
that
you're my
show?
guy, but
Who does more than
Stephen
us?
A., I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you.
Wow.
Don't do that.
Talking to
I'm
you,
talking to
nigga.
you about the
Oh, my
power that
Lord.
you have.
Okay.
I'm talking to you.
Okay.
It's,
Okay.
It's,
All right, let's.
I got
You
it.
my guy.
Here comes Shannon.
Yeah, but
I
I'm
got
talking
it.
to you.
I got it.
Guys, I really
You
appreciate
you my girl, but you've missed a lot of episodes of First.
Stephen A. is really, really like, you see how feisty he is? Have you ever seen Stephen A. be that feisty to them white women when they be checking him? Them white women be having a field day checking Stephen A. Sit down, boy. Shut up, boy. And he don't be going back. I ain't never seen Stephen A. Smith skip the commercial break to get a word in when a white woman catches him. I ain't never seen that. Let me see here. I ain't never seen a nigga skip commercial break. Let's keep going.
Sake. You missed a lot.
Stephen A.,
Guys.
3 years
I'll
ago,
leave
you
it
would
at
not
that.
talk about the
Go
W
ahead,
at this
Mama.
level. Don't do that. Come on now.
Guys.
Nobody-
She hit him with that. Come on. We all black men, we all know that sister girl. We all know when a black woman ain't bullshitting. Because black women, y'all do be, I ain't saying y'all don't bullshit, because black women, y'all be bullshitting too. But we all know when y'all not bullshitting. And when a black woman does that, come on now. Come on. You know. And everybody around knows. She probably right. She probably right. And Shannon knew she was right too. That's why Shannon came in with his thick ass tongue. Here comes Shannon. Shannon sound like, remember them old yellow school buses? Shannon talking like a yellow school bus that's starting up. Here it come.
It was, Monica.
Guys,
You making Stephen A. point, Monica. Monica.
Look how loud he is. You making Stephen A. point, Monica. Sound like that. Sound like the champion in Harlem Nights. I go beat the fuck up. You hear me?
Gentlemen,
making
please
Stephen
let
A.
me do my
point.
job. Please let me do my job. We've gone for 40 minutes straight. It was a riveting discussion. I have to get into commercial.
You going to Stephen A. point?
We've gone for 40. Hey,
Monica, you
gentlemen,
making
please
Stephen
let
A.
me do my
point.
job.
You ain't never seen Shannon Sharpe swell up like that with Becky O'Sullivan. I don't know if it's really no chick named Becky O'Sullivan or not. I'm just a name I made up. If Becky O'Sullivan was sitting across that camera, Shannon would have been like, now, Miss Becky. Miss Becky, I don't know about that now, Miss Becky. I don't know if you're right about that now, Miss Becky. You may be right, Miss Becky. I just respectfully, Miss Becky, I think that what my point of view is what I'm saying, Miss Becky. Respectfully, Miss Becky. Respectfully, Miss Becky. I just don't agree. All right, Miss Becky, you right. You right, Miss Becky. I saw that black man. Yeah, he did look at her funny. Yeah, I was mistaken, Miss Becky. And when I first saw the interaction, I thought that the black man was right. But now, Miss Becky, since you done said something, Miss Becky, matter of fact, you're right. Matter of fact, Miss Becky, what can I do to make sure the black community don't do the same thing that black man did? Miss Becky, you changed my opinion, Miss Becky. You changed my opinion, Miss Becky. Now, I think that black man, I'm going to go on the air tomorrow, and Miss Becky, I'm going to go on there tomorrow. I'm going to apologize to you for being wrong, Miss Becky. And then what we going to do is we going to talk about how this is prevalent within black America and how this is a black male problem. And then what we going to do is, Miss Becky, we going to get that athlete to donate some money. We're going to get him to donate some money to the Miss Becky Foundation of Miss Becky's. The Miss Becky Foundation of Miss Becky's. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we going to get some donation from these niggas for you, Miss Becky. That's how these niggas sound. That's how these niggas sound. That's how these niggas sound. Albert, and you type really weird. ... Next comment. Next comment. Let me see here. That's why you need to go to WNBA.com, donate to the documentary crowdfunding. We are in Black Music Month, y'all. It's time for you to order your Juneteenth. You still have time. If you order your shirt today or tomorrow, you should have it before Juneteenth weekend, okay? But order it today. Because it's taking me about 5 business days to get you your shirt lately. That's what they've been running. Like from order to delivery has been somewhere between 5 and 7 business days. So unless you don't want to put a rush on it, and you want to give yourself time, about 5 to 7 business days for these shirts to get out. And y'all been thank you to everybody who's been ordering the t-shirt. It's Black Music Month and Juneteenth t-shirts right now at thewambi.com. Limited edition, 1865. Juneteenth, the Black American Music Family Tree right now at thewambi.com. Also celebrate Black Music Month because I got my 100 Years of Black American Music History course. 8-part course. 8-part course. And if you're part of my email list, you got $100 off of this course. It's only available for you through this month. So if you want to be a part of that and you're not on the email list, join the email list and email me. Say, hey, I want my discount. $100 off. The 8-part course, 100 Years of Black American Music. We focus on we're going back to 1640, but we focused on the time between 1920 and 2020. And we're showing you how Black music evolved to where it is now. And that's on thewambi.com. Also, make sure you visit Hypnosis with Kendall. Go to hypnosiswithkendall.com. Dope. I mean, when it comes to your mental health, you want to go to Hypnosis with Kendall right now. and book an appointment. If you have any grief and loss that you've been dealing with, if you have any hang-ups, mental hang-ups that's been slowing you down, and you've been going to therapy and therapy ain't working right, I'm telling y'all right now, try that hypnotherapy shit, man. Hypnotherapy is the real deal. All right. And I can say that I can say that personally, that has done a lot for me. All right. So do all that right now. All right. Do that right now. Get your mind right, nigga. Let me see. Let me see. Athletes and artists will not be one of these being the 60s, 70s. Hey, Jab Bat, I'm going to make that take that a little further. Athletes and artists, for the most part, have never really been too political, especially athletes. Artists have, but pop artists really haven't. We've had this issue in Black America. It's gotten worse since the 60s and 70s. What we saw with Jim Brown, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, that was somewhat an aberration. Before then, we had Paul Robeson. But especially, like, you know, they were... Let me just put this. Athletes and entertainers should not be who we're looking to. Unfortunately, it is who we're looking at, but it shouldn't be, because we can almost expect that well to be poisoned. We can almost expect that well to be poisoned. You know, we can, Muhammad Ali was an exception. Joe Louis wasn't on that. Joe Louis was like, man, give me my check, get me the fuck up on out of here. Floyd Patterson, you know, they weren't really on that. Sonny Liston, they was talking shit about Muhammad Ali, still calling him Cassius Clay. George Foreman definitely wasn't on that. This nigga George Foreman still ain't on that. Ali was an aberration. We had Deontay Wilder who was about that, but you niggas, instead of you niggas saying, oh, we got Deontay Wilder who's black first, all you niggas was like, man, I don't like the way he throw his punches. So we dropped the ball on that one. One thing I will say about these white folks when it comes to Caitlin Clark, they're not going around saying, well, she don't really play defense. She's frail. They don't mention, it's like her flaws don't exist. She's white. She's beating some niggas. We gonna put our full support behind her. We gonna act like them flaws don't exist. Black people, on the other hand, we say we want another Muhammad Ali. We say we want another person to speak for us. And then we get one in Deontay Wilder. He held on to the belt for 6 years. You know what I mean? The whole 6 years he held on to the belt, he was talking black first. He was knocking niggas out every 3 months. But all niggas was saying was, man, but he don't have no good footwork though. And then we wonder why we get all these coons running around here. We get one that do speak up for us, and all niggas can say is, well, he don't throw enough jabs. Like you good at your job. Most of you niggas ain't even good as Deontay Wilder is at his job at you are yours. Nigga, you a bus driver, you always late to your stops, but you telling Deontay Wilder he need to get better footwork. I don't know what's wrong with you niggas sometimes. Caitlin Clark got so many holes in her game when I watch her play. Oh my gosh, she got so many holes in her game. But you're not going to win a rhetorical race war splicing the flaws of your representatives. You get behind them, especially if they win it. You just get behind them. And you niggas be acting like you some Here's another thing. Because sometimes I'll be asking questions from people trying to figure out why they think what they think. They be like, well, just for my standards. And I be looking at them like, nigga, well, who the fuck is you and your standards? How you gonna have standards for what you think a world-class fighter who holds the record for the highest knockout percentage in boxing history? He holds the record for the longest WBC title defenses. How you gonna have standards and you work for the fucking city, nigga? Don't nobody that work for the city have standards. You get a city job because it's goddamn easy. You get a city job because you get paid 8 hours a day to push an hour and a half of paperwork. That's why you even there, nigga. That's why you even got the job. You got an 8-hour job that you probably put in a good 2 hours and 15 minutes at. You don't get no promotions and shit because you don't. But you saying, well, I just wish. I know Deontay Wilder got the highest knockout percentage in boxing history. I just wish he could have had a little better footwork. Humble yourself, nigga. See, I could take Deontay Wilder's flaws. I know the fuck I'm flawed. All I know is I had a champion that represented my people who did well. The end result was he was excellent. Didn't always look good, but with all the flaws I got, what the fuck I look like telling somebody who's a 10-time champion, a 5-year championship belt holder, what my flawed ass look like telling him he needs a better jab? When every fighter he knocked out had a better jab than he had. That'd be the crazy part about it. Every fighter that Deontay Wilder knocked out had better footwork and a better jab than he had. They still lost. And here come your underachieving ass telling him what he should have did. Jab at. That's why every time I see someone that's not black, historian, scholar, master, speaking about black, he says, yeah, give it a side. Yeah, give it a side eye. Man, I'm just saying that because we can check ourselves, people. Black people don't have to be perfect, okay? We don't have to be perfect. We just got to have good intentions by each other and do our best by each other and love one another and have respect and have understanding through our mistakes with one another. That's what we need. And to close this out, what else we need? Real talk. Wilder didn't duck nobody. Wilder did everything we said we wanted out of a champion. Everything. And you got it, and you want to sparse over his footwork. Who the fuck are you? But ultimately, like I was getting ready to say, what we need is, as black people, here's the solution. When I say we got these issues, we need to have a certain level of respect for each other on camera. And this goes double for you manosphere niggas that like talking shit about black women. For you black women who like going and talking shit about black men. For you niggas that like saying bitch every third word. How about this? When on camera, addressing another black person, treat them with the same restraint you'll treat a white person. Is that fair? Is that fair? Because if you can show restraint, this is how I used to work when I used to work with kids. I see kids with extreme behaviors, and I would just watch a kid, and you will see a kid, okay, this kid can manipulate his mother, he manipulates his grandmother, but he don't manipulate that auntie. Then you be like, all right, cool. This kid manipulates this teacher and that teacher, but don't manipulate that teacher. And this is how I would do it when I would diagnose my children I worked with for over a decade. When I would see a child that knew how to restrain itself in front of one but not the other, see, like the therapists and like the people, the doctors, they be wanting to put the kids on Adderall, put them on Ritalin. They be wanting to give the kids psychotropics. Y'all don't know how many kids I saved from psychotropic medicine. Because I would see the doctors wanting to put them on psychotropic medicine because the kid is wilding out and the mom is letting them wild out. But then I would see these kids, they got ADD around mama, but with Uncle Lester, well, that's probably a bad name because most niggas named Uncle Lester, you don't want around your kids. Uncle Damon, they don't do that around Uncle Damon. They do that with Miss Smith, but they don't do it with Miss Rogers. Then you pull back and you start to look at the pattern of behavior between how does Miss Rogers and Miss Smith interact with this child? What's the difference in their approach? What's the difference in approach between mom and Uncle Damon? And then you get to see, okay, Uncle Damon gives this kid time, and then you really get to see, okay, this kid don't need medicine. They don't need Adderall. They don't need none of this stuff. They need to be approached with this level of intention, with this level of attention. And if you change your approach to this baby needs this, this, and this. And if you give them this, this, and this, they change up their behavior. See, a child can't vocalize what's wrong. 8, 9 years old, they just know something's wrong. So it comes out in behaviors. So you get it twisted. But you get to see, okay, there's nothing wrong with this baby. This baby just got to get a certain treatment and it's going to respond differently. And that's how you get kids get them off of taking these medicines. I take the same thing when it comes to approaches in all social dynamics. If I got a group of people here who act crazy with each other, who disrespect each other, talk down and crazy to each other, I might think I'm looking at a crazy group of people. Because every time I see this group of people with other people that look like them, they talking crazy to them, they ready to fight, step on one of them shoes, they ready to shoot them. Can't nobody tell them nothing wrong. They unruly, they disrespectful. But then I bring in that white person. Now all of a sudden that unruly person starts to become ruly. They somehow gain a certain level of respect. They know how to pronounce their words properly now. They know how to put their chin up and stop talking like a clown. This when you sit back and say, okay, through observation, these people got control. They're not crazy. They have control. But what's the question? Why do they treat their own different than how they treat the other? And my conclusion is the difference in treatment is because of perception of one another versus perception of the other. The same way with them kids. When the kids perceive respect from adults, when the kids perceive that adult is listening to them, when that kid perceives that adult is giving them attention, they don't have the ADD behaviors. When a group of people sees a person across that desk as somebody to have respect for, then they have respect for them. But if they see that person across that desk as the mama that didn't treat them right, the black girl in the 7th grade that dumped them and left them for the jock in high school, if all they see is a nigga down the street that jacked they bike, if all they see is another nigga, then they gonna treat him as such. So my message to all you niggas that like calling women, black women, bitches every third word, all you niggas like saying black women this, black women that, all you niggas that like huffing and puffing when about other black men, you can talk shit about James Harden, but you kissing Luka's ass. This is for you. Treat that nigga the same way you treat a white boy. Or if you're gonna be bout it, nigga, be bout it. You're gonna be one of those, I'm gonna leave with the story of my Uncle Fred. My great Uncle Fred, we shared the same birthday, rest in peace. Uncle Fred died like, damn, it's coming up on like 17 years since Uncle Fred died. But my Uncle Fred, I love him, but my Uncle Fred, this motherfucker like fighting everybody. This was my dad's best friend. The stories about my Uncle Fred fighting go far and wide. He used to fight. I mean, it's stories of my Uncle Fred fighting at Jim Brown's house at them Jim Brown parties back in the 70s. It's stories of him fighting at the goddamn Carolina West back in the 80s, nigga. It's stories of him fighting at the Mavericks Flats in the 70s. My Uncle Fred was so cold when it came to fighting. This dude, when he was learning karate with my dad back in the late 60s, early 70s, when Jim Kelly came out with them Jim Kelly movies and like the Bruce Lee movies, my Uncle Fred used to, as a brown belt, used to enroll in black belt tournaments looking to fight Jim Kelly because he thought that nigga was too pretty. He was like, who this pretty nigga? I'll whoop his ass. And Uncle Fred really used to enroll in karate tournaments in the early 70s, in the mid 70s, trying to fight Jim Kelly as a brown belt. My Uncle Fred was so cold. Some lady, white lady actually, said some shit to him when he drove a bus. This dude parked the bus and whooped her son's ass. I said that to say this. Larry know the story of Uncle Fred. That's why he laughing so hard. Uncle Fred fought anybody. White, black, Mexican, men, women. He didn't give a fuck. You crossed Uncle Fred's line, you was getting your ass whooped. My dad told a story. It was this one dude who had cheated him in they were playing like a card game. He had cheated him. And my Uncle Fred said, the next time I see you, I'm whooping your ass. Because the dude had said some crazy shit to him too after he cheated him. And everybody, and my Uncle Doug got in the way, they couldn't fight. And Uncle Fred said, next time I see you, I'm whooping your ass. Uncle Fred didn't see this nigga for 10 years. He saw that man 10 years later in the 80s, because he said that in the 70s. I'm a kid. I hear about Uncle Fred whooping somebody's ass down the street. It's like 87, 88. And I remember my dad walking out saying, well, Fred did say he gonna whoop his ass. Then my mom was like, but Dwayne, that was 10 years ago. Well, my dad was like, well, that was the next time he saw him. That was Uncle Fred. Some people just are confrontational and whoop ass. And they gonna say what they gotta say regardless of who's in front of them. I respect you. Because that person that'll call a black woman a B word or talk shit about black people, they'll do the same to white people. And at that point, I'm like, that's just who that person is. Like, I wish they had a little more tact about them, but that's just who they is. But if you can shut up in front of a nigga, in front of a white person, and talk a whole lot of shit in front of a nigga, you weak. Get some strength about yourself. Hold and have the same restraint for your sister and your brother that you do them. My name is Dewan. There are no perfect messengers. Only perfect messages for those willing to pick up the game. Thank y'all again for listening. We out.